I am your host, Leah Denla, and you are listening to the Oracle on Purpose podcast, where we help intentional leaders clarify their purpose and next steps to create a work and life of significance. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Oracle on Purpose podcast. I am super excited today. I am part of a massive event called the Potapalooza, and I have a special guest today. Her name is Dr. Ida Greene. She is a soul whisperer coach of intuition coaching. Isn't that exciting? She works with women who seek out to grow their self-love, improve their self-esteem and self-worth, their relationships, own their power, and stand in their performing, who seek a larger version of themselves and want to be paid what they are worth, which of course, here in the Oracle on Purpose podcast, we completely appreciate. I'm so excited to have her here today. Please welcome again my guest, Dr. Ida Greene. Welcome to the show, Dr. Ida.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to have you here. As I was mentioning, we are so excited because this particular podcast is always about the purpose of what we do and how we show up in the world. And I know as someone who is also intuitive and helps people with their intuition, it's important for us to build that up in the community that we serve. So I'm curious, Dr. Ida, to know a little bit more about what you do and how do you find alignment with your purpose as an intuitive in your work?
I'm glad you asked that because what I discovered is that I really need to teach other people how to be intuitive because I was doing it myself on my own self-worth, but then I could not create a program where I'm teaching others how to do that. And that's where it's really passionate because people have this gift of intuition. They don't know they have it. They're not into their self-worth, they're deserving. And we have to really look to the unused or unexplored parts of ourselves to find how to get tapped into that inner guidance, that intuition. So that's why I'm right now is teaching people relationship with themselves, with their divine self, and how they can really tap into the richness of their intuition and inner guidance.
I am so curious. Thank you for that. I am so curious about how you as an intuitive or how you understood or found your own intuitive guidance and created that connection for yourself. Tell me more about that.
I had it a long time ago, but I was so into my left brain. I'm a writer, so I ran out of 22 books. I was so into these books and stuff that I really didn't tap into my own inner guidance. But where I really tapped into is when I was in an abusive marriage and I got a message to not marry this man. So I spent so much time, I didn't marry him. I ended up getting out of that marriage. It took me so much time to build up my self-esteem again, to my self-worth. And then I had to come back to, okay, now if I wasn't listening, other people not listening either. So what can I do? So I had to go back again to my own self, my self-deserving, and to my relationship with myself, my God self, my divine self. Then I was able to get into that where I could help others. I had to go back and tap into my own divine self before I could really teach others how to do it.
That is so important, that piece right there. I think that is so amazing. And it's so funny. I love how the universe always brings the right people together. I too had a lot of intuitive hits. In fact, I always joke that I had like some 2x4s smacked at me in my own first marriage of like, this is not the way to go. And I still didn't listen, as you said. And I ended up leaving that marriage and thankfully, I'm a much happier place now, but that is so important. I love that you're sharing that we can change that story, right? We can make a difference when we start to listen and we start to appreciate our own intuition. And I know for me, part of what I do with my clients is to help them figure out how that knowing helps them actually deliver what they're intended to deliver here in the world and make a bigger difference. So how would you say that your work has a positive impact on the world?
What I'm doing now is really, I call it a spirit initiation, where I have a 5-week program that really train and teach people how to listen to that inner guidance, how to decide whether they're clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, just have the clairknowing. So that's what this 5-week program is, just to help them decide how they're going to listen into spirit and how they're going to receive those messages. Then I have a 90-day program that helps them to awaken it. A 6-month program helps them develop it, and a year-long program, apprentice program, that helps them really grow that intuition. So I've created a vehicle that helps them to get them fired up with looking at all their 5 chakras, and then taking them down the path. So I just had to really work on creating that vehicle because I didn't know how else to help them. So now I have a pathway to lead them into that. So it's really awesome that I have this thing. Plus I do now soul readings. And that's something I just started this year. I listened to Spirit and it told me to do the soul readings. And since I've done the soul readings, it is an awesome vehicle to give people a mini message that tells them where they are right now, what's blocking them, and what's the next step. So I'm really excited about that.
I love it. Tell me something. When you talk about, I can really see and feel your passion for what you're sharing with people. When you see that you're making this difference, right, for these individuals, and you're showing them, of course, as you said, like that connection to source and to God, the Spirit. When you look out ahead? When you look out, I know that you are a wise woman of established years, and you still have so much in front of you. I can tell with your energy that you've got places to go and things to do. What is your big vision for the work that you do and the life in front of you? What's next for Dr.
That's why I created this year-long 12-month apprentice program, because I thought, well, I want to leave a legacy. So I want to bring someone up. So I have this right now. I have it for just 5 women. I have a path for business and for life. So right now I have one person wrote my year-long program. I just opened it up, had the courage to open it up. One lady hopped right in. So I have one apprentice right now that I'm training in my year-long program. So I want to really get people, teach them what I know. I have so much wisdom and knowledge, and I didn't realize that I was doing it for myself. But I really want to bring someone up along with me so that we all can change the planet, be beacons of light and love and joy to change the darkness in the planet. So that's my vision right now, is to really help 5 women in the life and 5 women in the business program, and get those people fired up. So that will leave that legacy that I'm here to change the world, that I am really ready to bring someone along with me, while at the same time get my own help as well and my own connect to the divine.
Yeah. I know that when we have this deep connection to the divine, as you said, we can also link that back to a time when we didn't feel connected. And I know you mentioned your marriage. Were there other times in your life where you felt like you lost your way, and this connection really helped anchor you and bring you back to your purpose?
My first marriage was I was actually schizophrenic, and I was so busy trying to manage that reality that I didn't have time to connect to anything, but just live in the moment. When your people hallucinating and you don't know how to deal with that, I was just in survival mode.
Right. And that's an interesting piece of the puzzle too, right? To know that when we're in our survival mode, we lose ourselves from the very connection that can help us to really anchor in and move forward and make choices that are life affirming and purpose driven. If you were to be able to speak right now to those that are listening, and I work and speak to people who are entrepreneurs and women leaders, who probably many of whom are also married or on the journey of having relationships and families. What is the one thing you would like to leave them with? What is it they need to know that you've learned in all these years of wisdom that you have?
Yeah, they need to know that there's a bigger picture and that they're constantly evolving. They need to be asking, what is next? How can I get to, there's a bigger version of me, a better version of me? How can I get that? Because if we just stay stuck in our little paradigm and think, this is it, it's more than where we are right now. Our life can be so much bigger as I'm right now looking at and doing. I thought that was it. But now I'm really looking at using the money that I have for my coaching program to send African-American boys to go to college. So I have a bigger version of what I want to do. My why now, why I want to have my 6-month and my 90 and 12-month program. I have a why is bigger than who I am. So it really pushes me. So I would suggest that people find a bigger why than themselves. What is a bigger version of them that they can do? Because this is not it. This is just, I guess, a little kaleidoscope of who you are. But you're for something bigger than who you're showing up as. So go look for that fruit on the limb because it's out there. This is not it. This is just a small capsule of who you are and who you can become. So keep asking questions, keep thriving, keep looking, asking what is the next step for me? And Spirit will show you what is the next step.
I love it. You guys heard it here first. Keep looking for the fruit on that limb. It is out there for you. The universe is speaking through us and giving us guidance. Thank you so much, Dr. Ida, for sharing your wisdom with us today. Tell our listeners and our viewers here how they can hear, learn, and connect with you further.
Certainly, I would love to I have an ebook, an intuition ebook. I would love to have them go to that website. It's www.askdrida.com. Get your intuition ebook. Every first Wednesday in the month, I have a masterclass on intuition for life. This second Thursday in the month, I have a webinar on how to use your intuition in business. Every Sunday at 3:00, I have Words of Wisdom with Dr. Ida. So if you want to really know more about my program, my 5-week program that's coming up in 2 weeks, go to www.calendly.com/Dr. Ida Greene /30 minutes. And we can talk about how you can get into that 5-week class, that spirit initiation.
Great. Well, we are going to be posting these podcasts soon on the internet. So let's keep it really simple, folks. If you want to find out more about Dr. Ida, keep it simple. www.askdrida.com. And we'll make sure that you get connected with this amazing individual and learn more about how to stay connected and reach for your fruit on that limb. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Leah Dunlap, the Oracle on Purpose. Remember, you are here on purpose.
Thanks for tuning in to the Oracle on Purpose show. If you found value in this episode, we'd appreciate you leaving a comment. Also, you can subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't yet. If you'd like to get clear on your highest vision and next steps, go to oracleonpurpose.com. See you next week.